Alright, greetings everyone. This is Ronan Mac here, and I'm looking at Shogun 2 Total War. Decided to give this one a go since I had Martin Luther King Day off. And spent the day playing around with this after a morning of editing some Minecraft videos co-op with Hearts on Fire. But this game's pretty complex. There's a lot of different things going on, and I'm playing the Fall of the Samurai DLC, so this takes place in the 1800s. And there's a bit of a civil war going on in Japan between the shogunate and the imperial factions. I decided to go with the Josei, who are supporting the shogun. And I'm not doing super well. You can see this is my clan, Josei. Technologically, we're advancing. You can see there's the daimyo. He's got two sons, his brother. Everyone's rather young right now. And one of my generals, he's doing pretty well. His loyalty's not too high, so I'm going to give him a title to boost his loyalty. Because he's pretty high rank, he's won quite a few battles, and I don't want him leading a rebellion against my daimyo, because that'll happen sometimes. So I tried this DLC a few times and failed. I'm actually holding my own right now, but you can see my ally, the Edo, conquered quite a bit of territory, and I kind of followed on his heels, but I'm not getting a lot of provinces under my own personal control, so my allies are a little stronger than me, which is not where you want to be. Just looking at some technological advancements right now. I spent, I think, too much time initially establishing efficient provinces and not enough time attacking, so I've got quite a bit of catch-up to do to remain a viable power in this struggle for control of Japan in the 1800s. This is my main province there. You can see I had the people are exempt from taxes just because they're a little bit upset right now. I think I developed too much industry in there, and that tends to make people upset. So I've got to exempt them from tax until I can balance that out. I did end up taking this province after following the Edo's advance against a common enemy at that point. They've been wiped out, and now I've got this little outpost far down to the south of Japan here. I know it looks like it's west on the map, but the map is actually turned. The north side is towards this side where I am now. And the south side is towards the small islands on the west side of the map as it appears right now, but it's actually the south side. Hope it's not all too confusing. In the Fall of the Samurai, they're getting more firearms, more cannon, steamships, and kind of modernizing Japan, but the modernization does not come without a great deal of dissatisfaction from the populace. So you can see now pretty much under control here, so I can go ahead and start taxing those people again. And I'm trying to build up a larger navy so I can send one as an expeditionary force, and don't have enough to make the new copper bottom ship frigate that I want to make. I've got to get naval power because unlike its predecessors, naval power really comes into play in this game because your navy can bombard shorelines, or they can provide fire support for military assaults on targets. So navy really is important, and I haven't put enough time and energy into it at this point, which may cause me trouble as I try to advance in my little Japanese campaign at this point. See, this big dark section is controlled by the Idu, who is my ally right now, but in order to retain them as an ally, I'm going to have to get a little stronger myself so they don't feel the need to take me over. I've decided to move my daimyo down to the front lines because he hasn't engaged in any combat yet, and if your generals get too high a level and your daimyo is weak, they'll overthrow him. I have a foreign veteran. He's helping to train my troops in my daimyo's army, and just sort of a Western influence starting to take hold in Japan. And I have a geisha with my army as well. They have several uses, one of which is to increase the morale of your armies. I'm trying to push south against the Obama faction, who I think they're loyal to the shogunate, but for some reason they've gone to war with myself and my allies. So we're going to have to go ahead and push through them to gain greater control and hopefully secure the capital city of Kyoto, so we can secure it from the imperial influences. So I'm going to go ahead and move the daimyo forward here and try to take Yamato. This will be a little bit of combat to take out the forces that are defending the castle here. See, I've got them quite outnumbered, so hopefully this will go fairly well for me. Usually you get to assess the weather conditions. Sometimes you get fog, rain, snow, but it's a nice dry day, so we shouldn't have too much weather problems. And I'm going to go ahead and try to set up for a decent attack. Now I've got these Armstrong guns, which are really good cannon. And they're horse-drawn, so you have to deploy them before they can fire. So I'm going to go ahead and start them as deployed on one side. And I've got some good old-fashioned bows, samurai kachi, to help defend. Not sure why these sharpshooters, these are Japanese sharpshooters, a little bit farther ahead than I'd like them. I'm going to pull them back. Sometimes your troops set up in sort of weird positions. I'm going to go ahead and deploy my second battery of Armstrong guns versus the front side of the castle. This castle should go better for me because I have cannons and they don't have cannons. And artillery is the king of battle for a reason, especially on a castle assault. Artillery really makes the difference because I can sit back and let my artillery hammer them without taking any casualties, and then once they're softened up quite a bit, I can make my assault, and I have a far better chance of military success. And you can replenish units that suffer casualties, but it takes time. And if there's a counter-assault, it could cause problems. So you're always looking to inflict maximum damage without taking very many losses. And I don't get to see where his units are deployed until I'm ready to start my assault, so I think we're good to go.
Today, sir, we attack.
You can see there's a couple towers that shoot archery fire out of them. And those are the red. Now my cannons are going to start hammering the guys that are defending the wall. And in a straight up gunfight, they've got a severe advantage because they've got elevation and cover for their gunfire units that they have. And I don't think I have good range from my Armstrong guns that are coming off the side here. And especially when you outnumber the enemy a lot, it pays to do a multi-sided attack to divide their attention or allow yourself easy access on one side of the castle. Since my cannon can't fire at them from there, I'm going to go ahead and limber up the cannon, which means attach them to the horses and try to move forward to a better position. In the meantime, my Armstrong guns are going to fire shrapnel shot, which is explosive shot that hopefully causes more casualties, but doesn't seem to be doing a whole lot of damage because, like I said, they're behind cover of the castle walls. See, the walls have suffered a little bit of damage, but in the end, the solid cannonballs, I think, are going to do a little more damage. I'm going to try to move my artillery up closer, since the side of the castle appears to be undefended, and then let the front side just keep hammering down on the riflemen that are arming the perimeter there. And like I said, I spent too much time developing my provinces, which seemed to be a detriment, but it did help in that I've got these Armstrong guns, which are incredibly modern cannon. They've got a good rate of fire and a lot of firepower, and that makes a huge difference in battle. As long as you protect them and use them properly, it can easily turn the tide. This assault shouldn't be too much of a problem because I do outnumber them. I've got way better troops. I have a fairly competent general, whereas they have no general. And the castle's not too extravagant, so see my cannonballs blowing them backwards. There's quite a few dead bodies behind the wall. And I'm going to go ahead and let this cannon fire until they're out of shells. This is just a first-person view from the artillery pieces as they hammer the walls. You can see they don't have a really great angle of fire, but it's good enough to hammer the walls and fling bodies away, which is both fun and satisfying. Now, like I said, they're modernizing Japan now, but they still do retain classic katana sword samurai and these bokachi. The bow units actually do come in useful when you need to do indirect fire over obstacles like castle walls. So if those horses move closer or I move closer, I'll be able to hit them with arrows. You can see they're retreating now. And since my bows have them covered, I'm going to go ahead and try to get these spearmen up over the wall. And hopefully we can start taking some of the choke points of this castle, which is basically just an artificial hill leveled out so they have elevated fire. But some of the castles get quite a bit more advanced as they invest in them, or I invest in them. Makes them quite a bit trickier to capture. My Armstrong guns on the front side are almost out of ammo, so I'm going to go ahead and start moving in some of my light infantry units, which are basically advanced musket troops. And I do have some katana samurai. Against guns, they're going to get destroyed, but in melee combat, they are, bar none, the most powerful. But the trick is to get them inside the enemy's sphere of influence enough to do some damage. You see, they're sending their horses in. My bows are going to rain arrows down them. And as the rest of my spearmen can climb the wall, hopefully their long spears will make short work of these cavalry units, and they seem to be doing so. And the riflemen up on the wall are also shooting at us, but shouldn't be too much of a problem. Once we get these horses taken care of, we're going to be able to hopefully take over the gate, which means that I can get my bowmen in through the gate and then wipe out the rest of the troops on the inside. So I'm going to go ahead and take control of this gate as we're taking musket fire from these nearly dead riflemen here. And I'll try to get my line infantry up the wall as well, either to do damage or if nothing else, give the enemy something else to think about. I'd like to get my katana samurai up top too. I'll just do a frontal assault on these guys. There's not enough of them to really destroy me with gunfire. I'm going to try to get the bow samurai up inside the fort since we control that gate now.
Sir, your general is under attack.
Frontal assault, just charge. In melee combat, these spear samurai should definitely destroy the riflemen. You can see there's another spear unit off on the back side there, but their morale is incredibly low. We took out about half of them in the charge. The rest should fall shortly in melee because they're definitely outclassed. Spearmen have armor, whereas the riflemen have no armor and aren't really trained for melee as well. Okay. I've got the spearmen coming in. Their morale is basically nothing, but they have to fight to the death since they're inside their own castle defenses. Some arrows falling down on them. Get some fire arrows in there to further crush their morale. Hopefully the rest of my army will get up the walls to help reduce the losses. I'm going to try to get the bowmen over here to capture that tower. Like I said, they do fire arrows out of the towers, but the rate of fire is so slow that it's not really game breaking, it's just a harassment kind of thing. My general is going to rally the troops. You can see that blue circle is sort of the range of his voice. So he can shout out words of inspiration that help give a temporary morale boost to the troops. Makes them fight harder and suffer less losses, do more damage. So try to take this tower out quickly. With my line infantry that have climbed up the wall. We own this tower now, so we could move in, but everybody is dead, so we have one fairly crushing victory. Wasn't much of a defense, but gives you an idea of what a offensive castle siege looks like. Probably could have done that better, but I'm a bit rusty. But a win's a win. So you can see we lost 172 men, but they lost everybody, so not too bad. I'm going to peacefully occupy because I want to retain this province, hopefully. In lieu of that, I have to repair the castle walls that I damaged attacking it. You can see there's a lot of Obama faction armies up to the, well, it'd be west, but it looks north. And they may come down and try a counterattack. In fact, I'm sure they'll come down and counterattack. Hopefully I can distract them long enough to repair the defenses. I'd like to get down and get the province down here as well. But we'll see how that works. I think I'm going to have a little naval battle in the next episode. And show you what that looks like and see how my war progresses from there. See you next episode, folks. Bye.